In this video, we'll look at a brief history of the qualitative risk assessment that was done for the GLMRIS project, one of our case studies. Every risk assessment has some history, and the history of the GLMRIS risk assessment begins with the United States Department of Agriculture's Animal Plant Health Inspection Service in the early 1990s. APHIS is charged with protecting the plants and animals as well as the plant and animal products of the United States from non-indigenous pests, primarily those associated with imported products. Any country that wants to export plant or animal products to the United States must receive a certificate from APHIS. In 1993, Richard Orr, Susan Cohen, and Robert Griffin developed a simple risk assessment process that they could use to make evidence-based decisions on the hundreds of applications they received annually. This is the first time that the Department of Agriculture significantly stepped into the world of risk assessment. Let's take a look at a couple of pages from the original document. Forgive the quality of this first page. I scanned a rare copy of the original document, and clearly it did not do a good job on the flow chart, which shows how the process is initiated, how the risk assessment follows, and then leads to risk management. Let's shrink this page a little bit so we can get it all on your screen. Keep this in mind because you're going to see a close parallel when we get to the aquatic nuisance species. Let's take a look at the second page here. This will frustrate you equally. The second page shows the basic risk assessment model. You'll have to either pause the video to read it or imagine what it looks like with a horizontal orientation, which you'll see in just a moment. The details aren't important to us. What I would like you to understand is that the conceptual roots of the GLMRIS risk assessment are found here in this risk assessment process initiated in 1993. By 1996, APHIS's generic process had been adapted for use on non-indigenous aquatic species. A quick look at two selected pages will convince you of their similarity. So let's have a look at page 12 here. This is essentially the very same pathway analysis that you saw in the terrestrial species, the pest risk assessment generic process. And if we take a look at a second, you're going to see the risk assessment model with a horizontal orientation this time. The pathway was virtually identical with only a few minor reorganizations of the risk management steps, and this friendlier version of the horizontal orientation of the conceptual risk model shows you that the two are identical. These models were the basis for the GLMRIS risk assessment. Every risk assessment has some history.